And you cannot help an individual who's suffering in poverty unless, secondly, most importantly, unless that individual wants to help him or herself. I believe, this is my thought, I believe we need to develop a process to identify, pick out, choose, and select the ones who really want to rise above their poverty. Yeah, a lot of them want a bed, a lot of them want food, a lot of them want a hug. But the ones who really want to rise above their poverty, not the sincere ones, shock, because sincerity is not enough. Not the intellectual ones, because intelligence alone is not enough. And not the ambitious ones either. But the ones who are willing to take a step towards facing their fear. Who are willing to trust in a power greater than themselves. It could be God, it could be you, it could be a group, it could be a program, it could be a loving, helping hand, it could be one person, it could be a safe, long-term place to live. But it will be whatever they decide it will be. You know, we all have a tendency, myself included, to look out there at the so-called societal barriers. Sometimes we need to look in here and ask ourselves, am I really for overcoming poverty? Am I in this job to really help that person? Or is the money good? Does the position bring prestige? And I'm not looking down at anybody, I'm not blaming anybody, I'm talking to me. Excuse me, I need to look internally. And ask myself, am I afraid of really getting involved? Or do I have only so far that I'll go and don't ask me to go any further? I think those are questions that I know I need to ask myself. And yeah, I am. I can honestly say, yeah, I am. I'm willing to go a little further. But some of us really are afraid of going the extra mile, and that's okay, because we're in this together. Lorraine talked about being and doing it together. Senator Segal touched on that. We can do it together, and we are going to do it together. These are some of the greatest, if not the greatest, times to be in the Yukon, to be a part of what's happening, the social inclusion. And that part of that social inclusion means you and I being there for and supporting each other and being honest and being able to say, I don't really want to do that. I need some help with that. I'm afraid to do this. I'm afraid of what might happen. That's okay. As long as we stand together, we can overcome. And remember, people, As you know, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that never has rung truer with those living in poverty. Don't tell me how much you know till you show me how much you care. Address the past in the present by moving towards the future. I thought it was a cool title until I realized and looked at, wow, it does have some merit. Moving towards the future. By being here today, you and we are moving towards the future. Individuals move towards the future by making connections spiritually, emotionally, physically, and by trusting someone. Trusting someone so that they're able to deal with their issues in the present. They move towards the future through education, through people like you, and long-term support. They move towards the future by making a decision. I want to get out of this. I've had it. I'm tired. I'm sick of it. I'm going to move. They move towards the future by making a decision, and when they do, we can be there when they decide to. Let me close with this quote from all people, from Muhammad Ali. Now I can see why he was the greatest, because he has a lot of wisdom. And this is his quote: "Wars of nations are fought to change maps, but wars of poverty are fought to map change."